On our journey around the world, we will explore places and natural phenomena that capture the amazing diversity and beauty of our planet. From remote and dangerous landscapes to ancient archaeological wonders and unexplained geological phenomena, each destination invites us to discover fascinating stories that challenge our imagination and understanding. Number 1. The most dangerous airport in the world. Commonly known as Lukla Airport, it is located in Nepal and is famous for being one of the most dangerous in the world. Located in the village of Lukla in the Himalayas, at an altitude of 2,845 meters, 9,334 feet, this airport is the main gateway for mountaineers heading to Everest. Its runway is only 527 meters, 1,729 feet, long, which is significantly shorter compared to conventional airports that have runways of several kilometers. Additionally, the runway has a 12-degree slope, which helps planes decelerate quickly when landing and gain speed when taking off. The weather in Lukla is extremely unpredictable, with frequent rapid changes that can include thick fog and strong winds. These variable weather conditions make flying into this airport even more challenging. Unlike other airports that have advanced instrument approach systems, Lukla does not have such systems, so pilots must rely on their visual skills to land and take off. The airport is surrounded by mountains and deep valleys, which means that any mistaken landing or takeoff can result in a catastrophic accident. In fact, there have been several accidents in Lukla, the most notable being in 2008 when a plane crashed, killing 18 people. Because of these risks, pilots flying to Lukla require special training and must have extensive experience in difficult flying conditions. Despite the dangers, Lukla Airport remains a crucial point for adventurers who dream of climbing Everest, and its reputation as one of the most dangerous airports in the world only adds another element of challenge and excitement to your journey. Number 2. Göbekli Tepe is an archaeological site in southeastern Turkey that has revolutionized our understanding of prehistory. Discovered in the 1960s but excavated extensively beginning in the 1990s, Göbekli Tepe is considered the oldest temple in the world, dating back around 11,000 years, placing it in the Neolithic period, long before the invention of writing or the wheel. The site consists of a series of enormous circular and oval structures, some of which are decorated with intricate carvings of animals and abstract figures. These structures are made up of monolithic T-shaped pillars, some of which reach up to 6 meters in height and weigh several tons. Archaeologists believe these stones were carved and erected by hunter-gatherer communities, challenging the previous theory that only sedentary agricultural societies could build such complex monuments. Göbekli Tepe is not only notable for its age, but also for its artistic and technical sophistication. The animal carvings, including lions, bulls, foxes, snakes and birds, are surprisingly detailed and show a high level of skill and knowledge. This site also suggests that the construction of religious monuments may have been a crucial factor in social cohesion and the transition from nomadic communities to agricultural societies. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe has raised new questions about the nature of religion and society in prehistory. For example, it is debated whether this site was a place of worship for various communities or whether it had some other purpose, such as being a center of exchange or a meeting place. Furthermore, the fact that the oldest structures are the most sophisticated has led researchers to reconsider how construction and artistic skills evolved in the past. Göbekli Tepe remains an active excavation site and a subject of intense archaeological study. Each year, new finds continue to reveal information about this mysterious place, providing clues to early human beliefs and practices. In short, Göbekli Tepe has not only changed our view of the past, but has also opened new avenues for understanding the origins of human civilization. Number 3. Old Ice Machine. The yakshul is an ancient Persian invention used for the manufacture and storage of ice in the desert. This ingenious system dates back to 400 BC.
and demonstrates the amazing engineering and architectural knowledge of the ancient Persians.
A yakshal is essentially a large underground chamber, with a dome above the surface, designed to keep ice and other foods fresh even in the hot desert climate. The structure has a distinctive shape, a large dome that can reach up to 15 meters high, with a deep pit dug into the ground. The dome and walls are built with a special mixture called saruj, made of sand, clay, egg whites, lime, goat hair, and ash, which is highly resistant to heat and water, providing exceptional insulation.
The ice production process began in winter.
Water from a cannet, an underground canal system, was diverted into a shallow area, where it was allowed to freeze overnight. The ice was then cut into blocks and stored in the yakshal.
Thanks to its insulating construction, the ice could be maintained for months, even into summer.
In addition to ice storage, the yakshal was also used to preserve foods such as fruits and vegetables. The temperature inside could be maintained around 4 degrees Celsius, ideal for preserving perishable foods in the arid climate.
Some yakshals even had ventilation systems that helped regulate the temperature and humidity inside the chamber.
The yakshal is a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of ancient civilizations, demonstrating how they solved complex problems with limited resources and simple technology. This ancient refrigeration technique is further proof of the advanced engineering of the Persians, who managed to create sustainable and efficient solutions in an environment as challenging as the desert. Today, although modern technology has largely replaced these structures, the yakshal remains a symbol of innovation and a reminder of the human ability to adapt and thrive in adverse conditions.
Number 4. The Travanst. In the small town of Castesti, Romania, lies one of the most fascinating geological phenomena in the world, Travanst.
These stones have the unique ability to grow and reproduce after rain. Travansts are sandstone concretions cemented with calcium carbonate, formed millions of years ago. When it rains, the water dissolves the mineral compounds inside, causing an expansion that looks like growth. The surface of Travansts may develop bumps or bumps over time, giving the impression of being alive. This process is extremely slow, with visible changes only after many years. Some stones even show small buds, where small stones appear to emerge from larger ones. Protected in the Travanst Museum in Castesti, these curious natural artifacts attract visitors from all over the world and continue to be the subject of study to better understand the geological processes that allow their growth. Travansts are not only a wonder of nature, but also a reminder of the mysteries that still exist on our planet.
Number 5. Hrudangaviti Lighthouse.
It is one of the most impressive and remote lighthouses in the world, located in Iceland. Built in 1939, this lighthouse is located on a steep rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, 34 meters above sea level, in the Vestmannaeyjar archipelago. The construction of Hrudangaviti was an impressive feat, considering the extreme conditions and inaccessibility of the site. The builders scaled the cliffs to the top of the pillar, working by hand over slippery rocks, rain and strong winds, knowing that one slip could throw them into the freezing cold.
North Atlantic.
The lighthouse provides vital guidance for ships navigating these dangerous waters, where currents and winds can be treacherous. Access to the lighthouse is extremely difficult. Originally it could only be reached by climbing the rock, but today, maintenance is mainly carried out by helicopter due to the danger of the climb. Its unique and challenging location has made Hrudangaviti a symbol of human tenacity and ingenuity in the face of natural adversity. Surrounded by stunning views of the ocean and Icelandic coast, Hrudangaviti Lighthouse is not only functional but also a tourist attraction for those looking to see one of the most spectacular and isolated places in the world. This lighthouse remains a testament to humans' ability to build and operate structures in some of the most inhospitable environments on the planet.
Number 6. Tom Jah, the biggest hole in the world.
Discovered in the waters of Chetumal Bay, off the southeast coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, the Tom Jaw Blue Hole has been revealed to be the deepest underwater blue hole in the world. With a depth initially measured at 274 meters by echosounder, new measurements using a CTD profiler have confirmed that the Tom Jaw extends to at least 420 meters below sea level, thus displacing the previous record holder, the Dragon Hole in the South China Sea.
This monumental blue hole, whose name in Mayan means deep water, represents a geological wonder in constant exploration.
Scientists have been studying coastal karst formations in this region, fascinated by the mysterious depth of the Tom Jaw and its potential to reveal secrets about geological history and underwater biodiversity. Despite technological advances, the bottom of the Tom Jaw remains an unsolved mystery, challenging the limits of human knowledge of the deep sea and highlighting the magnitude of our planet's hidden wonders.
Number 7. Mysterious Mingo Island. At first glance, you wouldn't imagine that there are hundreds of homes on the tiny island of Mingo.
This rocky island is located in Lake Victoria, between Uganda and Kenya. Because the island is located in an area rich in fishing, there is a dispute between the two countries over its sovereignty. The island is no more than 4,000 square meters, but is home to more than 500 people. The houses on this small rock are built with metal sheets and most of the people live in poverty. To this day, the number of inhabitants of this island continues to increase.
Number 8. The most isolated church in the world.
There are many sacred places that rise high in the mountains, where the faithful come to worship their divinity, but none compares to the Catskill Column. The highest and loneliest monastery on the planet is a church that crowns an impressive 40-meter-high limestone rock, located about 200 kilometers west of Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. Today, most of the monks who live there have to climb a metal ladder that is fixed to the side of the rock to reach the church. They make this risky climb every day to offer their prayers. The Catskill Column is not a tourist destination, but a space for meditation and worship for monks. In fact, only men from a specific religious order can climb the column, and women have never been able to access it in all of history. The first monks who settled at the top of the column did so in the 10th and 11th centuries. There they lived in total isolation and dedicated every day of their lives to praying. Nowadays, however, the monks only climb the column to pray in the church, but they reside in the monastery below the column.
Number 9. The last hope of humanity.
You may never have the chance to see the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, but there is a very important reason why it was built in such an isolated place. This impressive vault is hidden inside a mountain on a distant island in the Svalbard archipelago, located between Norway and the North Pole. It is like Noah's Ark, but instead of animals, it holds almost all kinds of seeds that exist in the world. It can hold up to 4.5 million seed samples, but for now it only contains about 1.5 million crop varieties from every corner of the planet. The Global Seed Vault was created to ensure that we have a backup or reserve of all the world's crops in case we suffer a global disease or catastrophe. At some point in the future, this vault will ensure that we will still have the natural resources needed to grow food on Earth. If a mutated fungus infects all the corn, wheat, and rice grown around the world, we still have the seeds stored inside the Svalbard Vault as a last resort for new crops.
Number 10. Church revived by ghosts.
In the small town of Lakova, in the Czech Republic, stands a church that keeps a chilling secret.
This is the Church of San Jorge, a 14th century construction that witnessed the faith and history of its inhabitants.
But in 1968, everything changed during a funeral. The roof of the church collapsed, causing panic among those attending. The locals interpreted the event as a sign of a curse and abandoned the temple forever. The church was exposed to the passage of time and to the looting of the communists, who took away its paintings, statues, and other valuable objects. However, in 2014, a young art student brought him back to life. Looking for a place for his final year project, he came across the ruined church and saw an opportunity in it. With the permission of the temple manager, he created several plaster sculptures covered with white cloth, which he placed on the benches as if they were worshippers praying. The ghostly figures made a great impression on those who saw them from the outside, and soon the church became a global tourist attraction. The students' work was intended to pay tribute to the Germans who had prayed there before being expelled after World War II, but it also managed to spark interest in the history and restoration of the church.
Number 11. Abandoned doll village in Japan.
There are many remote and lonely places, but none as chilling as Nagoro.
This town, located on the island of Shikoku, looks like something out of a horror movie.
Its inhabitants are not people, but straw dolls, about 350 in total. They were all made by a woman who returned to the town after many years and found that almost all of them were gone or dead. To fill the void, she began creating dolls representing former neighbors and placing them in the places where they used to be.
Nowadays, dolls seem to have a life of their own.
Some are sitting in homes, others in school classrooms, and others in different corners of the town. Touring Nagoro is a unique experience, as long as you are not afraid of dolls.
Number 12. The Last House on Holland Island.
This house was the last one left standing on Holland Island, an island that disappeared underwater. This Victorian home was built in 1888 on Holland Island in the Chesapeake Bay. The island was named after its first owner, Daniel Holland, a British colonialist. It was not inhabited by anyone until the late 1850s, when it became a flourishing community of fishermen and farmers. Many people saw the potential of the island, and in the early 20th century, Holland Island became one of the most populated islands in the region. No one living on the island suspected that their home would soon be engulfed by the rising sea. At that time, it was a prosperous community and no one thought they would have to leave their homes. It wasn't until 1914 that some people noticed the water rising slowly and the shoreline eroding so quickly. As they arrived, the fishermen decided to move to the mainland, but some people tried to save the island. Unfortunately, it was all in vain. In the end, almost everyone left, but in 1955, the island was purchased by Mr. Stephen White, a church minister who thought he could save the island, or at least what was left of it. He tried everything he could to stop the advance of the water, but the island's fate was sealed. By 2010, this Victorian house finally collapsed and succumbed to weathering and erosion. Although there is nothing left of Holland Island to explore today, its history will never be forgotten. Number 13. The mysterious rock sphere of Bosnia. A team of archaeologists was baffled when they discovered huge spherical stones in a forest in Bosnia. No one knows where the stone circles came from or how they were formed. The heaviest of the circles weighed about 30 tons and measured up to about 1.5 meters in diameter. No analysis has been done to confirm the composition of the stones, but their reddish-brown color suggests that they are partially composed of iron. Archaeologists were amazed and intrigued by the existence of these strange stones, because there is much to learn about them. Some think that the Bosnian stone circles were created by a forgotten civilization more than 100 years ago, but the lack of other evidence makes this conclusion difficult. If this theory were proven true, the Bosnian stone circles would be the oldest stone spheres created by humans to date. Archaeologists still cannot determine the origin of the Bosnian spheres. However, many conspiracies were sparked by the discovery of the stones. Some people think that the Bosnian spheres were not created by humans, but by extraterrestrial creatures. Number 14. Hand from the Atacama Desert. In the extreme south of Peru and northern Chile is the Atacama Desert, the driest place in the world outside the poles. There, rain is so scarce that there are areas that have never received a drop. For this reason, few venture to explore this inhospitable and burning territory, and that is why it is also surprising to find a huge sculpture in the middle of nowhere. This is the Hand of the Desert, a work of art that challenges the desert with its presence. This gigantic stone hand emerges from the ground as if it wanted to reach for the sky. It measures 11 m high and can be seen from afar, contrasting with the arid and desolate landscape. It is an attraction for travelers traveling along Route 5, which is part of the Pan American Highway. Many stop to take photos and leave their mark in the form of graffiti or drawings on the sculpture. The author of this work is the Chilean sculptor Mario Irarrázaval. The Hand of the Desert is one of his most famous and symbolic works, and according to him, each visitor can give their own interpretation of it. Some say it represents loneliness, others say it is a gesture of farewell or protest. To keep this work of art in good condition, cleaning and restoration is carried out almost every year. The Hand of the Desert is a testament to human creativity in a place where life seems impossible.